What is happening, people? Welcome back to my channel, Peter on Pole. If you're watching this video right now, guess what? You're in pole position. We are here to talk about the news that Mr. Toto Wolff has mentioned that Max Verstappen is his #1 target to replace Lewis Hamilton in 2025. Max Verstappen, Red Bull's Max Verstappen, three-time Formula One world champion, Max Verstappen. That is incredible scenes. Incredible scenes. And of course, it piqued my interest. Of course, we're going to be talking about this. But you know what? He had a short list. He had a bit of a list here, Toto Wolff. And this was taken from the Planet F1 article. He had a list here about the certain amount of drivers that he felt that could probably fit in that position, fit in the shoes of Sir Lewis Hamilton. And it's just a madness. First of all, top of the list is Mr. Max Verstappen, which goes without saying. It makes sense. Like, you get it. But I don't get it. Would Max Verstappen leave Red Bull, as chaotic as it is right now? Bear in mind, a year, 2025 is not for another, 8 months, 7 months? Not 7 months. What am I talking about? At least 10 months. I don't know what's going on here. 9, 10 months? What? So much can happen. So much can change in that time. I do not ever see Max Verstappen in this moment in time joining Mercedes, leaving Red Bull for Mercedes. I couldn't see it. It might make sense, and it depends what kind of Mercedes we're going to have in 2025 leading into 2026 when there's new regulations in Formula One. Yeah, okay, you've got a point there, but I can't lie, guys. I will be flabbergasted if I see Max Verstappen in a Mercedes. Now, it makes perfect sense, right? For if you're a Mercedes person, right? If you're Toto Wolff, you want to go for the best. And it's been said that, Jos Verstappen as well as Toto Wolff have been talking a lot. They've been seen talking a lot since, since the sort of unravelings that have been going on between, say, Horner and Jos Verstappen, Max's father, former Formula One driver as well. And so the situation at Red Bull obviously is not good. It's not great. There's a lot of turmoil at the minute. It's a bit harem-scarum depending on who you are. So there's been a lot of conversation. Some stuff is being said. Some stuff is happening. And who knows? Maybe we have to pay attention to that. And if we have to, so be it. This is what it is. This is the land of Formula One, people. Welcome to Formula One. If you're new to this, okay? Shenanigans upon shenanigans. And I'll tell you what, to be fair, the off-field stuff is kind of entertaining enough because the racing has been somewhat, Big up to Carlos Sainz for winning the Australian Grand Prix, obviously, last time out. But the writing is on the wall where you're looking at a Red Bull, especially in a Max Verstappen, where he could win 20 races this year. You wouldn't put it past him out of a 24 race season. It's that scary. But Max Verstappen being on that list, I mean, it's just bold. If Toto Wolff can pull this one off, there's a lot of things that we have to question. Number one, what is Max thinking joining Mercedes when you look at what Mercedes are? Now, he's probably got the history of Mercedes in his mind. Mercedes dominated the turbo hybrid era, right? The turbo hybrid era. They completely dominated it from 2014 up until at least 2020, right? And, 2021 obviously was a bit mad, but Red Bulls were there. They were thereabouts. Mercedes didn't dominate 2021. And Lewis did actually pretty well in that car in 2021. It's a shame he couldn't get World Championship number 8. It could still come. Who knows? But you've got to ask yourself, since 2021, all the onus and everything that's been done spot on and done well and done correctly has been done by Red Bull. So why would you leave, Max? Is it purely just because of the politics? Can the politics push you that far away? And I swear his contract goes on forever at Red Bull. It feels like a contract that goes on for ages. So how he's even got him on the list, I have no idea. I don't know. But Toto Wolff has got a list, people. And from now until the 2025 season, full well that Toto Wolff will be on the phone. The agents will be getting called up. The drivers will be talking. It's going to be one hellacious year. But Max Verstappen being #1 target, interesting. Also in the mix as well, you've got Antonelli as well, Kimi Antonelli, who's a youngster, under the Mercedes regime in F2. And people are talking about him a lot. They're talking about him a lot. They're saying, look, this might be the guy. This might be the one that we should bring in. I'm not too sure. If you're Mercedes, I don't think you go this far. Like, you don't go that far. You know what I mean? Like, you've got George Russell. Cool. He's not a shabby guy. He's a good driver. But to have George and then a youngster, like a proper young driver, I think he's 17 at the moment, at the time of this record. it would be too much of a risk. Maybe they want to start fresh, they want to go new, cool. But then look what else is on the table. And in this list, rumored to be Fernando Alonso, who is debating whether or not he should even be in Formula One in 2025, right? So that's the first thing he needs to answer is, will I be driving still? Do I want to drive in Formula One in 2025? Fernando Alonso is a racer. He's a racer at heart. He gives me and I didn't get to watch this man race when he was alive, but he gives me that Senna vibe where determined to win. Racing was the mantra. And Fernando Alonso, I feel like he's been Senna without the car, you know? And not to say he's been outperforming the car, he's been that brilliant, that quick, but I just know, and everybody knows, Alonso will do whatever it takes. Look at the crash that George Russell had at the Australian Grand Prix. And, you know, at first I didn't think anything of it. I think 20 seconds is a ridiculous penalty, but I think it's just the precedents, the rules that are set and whatever else, right? Because I think they've changed the 5-second penalty rule to 10. So 10 was the minimum that you could get. And they thought, you know what, it's worth more than the minimum because people get, you know, 5-second penalties for minor stuff. Whereas this one with George Russell in the Australian Grand Prix was a bit of a heftier, bit of a bigger situation and could have, you know, potentially could have really, really done some serious damage to George Russell in the Mercedes. But my point is what? Alonso will do whatever it takes to gain an advantage, to win a race, to thread the needle, whatever the case may be. Fernando Alonso is all about this life. He's about this racing. So I don't see him retiring next year, not at all. And if there's a Mercedes on the table, he'll be chomping at the bit. Aston Martin are here and thereabouts. They were on a good trajectory last year, and then things just didn't work out. The upgrades, they didn't understand the upgrades, and you know they're kind of taking a bit of a back burner. They're there or thereabouts. Fernando is still showing that he's got the pace. So Fernando Alonso in a Mercedes would be no problem for me whatsoever. I'd like to see that, in fact. So Fernando Alonso is also on that list, right? So you're looking at Max Verstappen, Kimi Antonelli, you know, quick, but risk. Fernando Alonso, seasoned, veteran, you know, will probably challenge the team a little bit just to get it in gear, get it in shape. But then you've also got Carlos Sainz, you know, who did win the Australian Grand Prix and is without a drive next season. And Mercedes have a seat open next season. Can Carlos Sainz, could you see it? Could you see it? I know there's that potential Red Bull seat. Well, it could be potentially 2 Red Bull seats. Let's say Max Verstappen decides, you know what, I'm done with Red Bull. I need to get out of here, right? What happens with the Red Bull seat? You know, you got the Sergio Perez situation is a bit. He's had a good start to the year, in fairness to Sergio, right? 2 P2s, okay. Not so great in Australia, but I think there was an issue that he had with his car. But he needs to be well in there in terms of like a comfortable second. If he's not going to challenge Max, he cannot be having battles with Leclerc and Hamilton and whoever else in the Drivers' Championship. He can't have that this year, especially with the state of that Mercedes right now. And you know what? You should be better than Leclerc if you're in a Red Bull. Just my opinion. Might sound harsh. I don't know. But this is the situation that we're in, right? Carlos Sainz, Kimi Antonelli, Fernando Alonso, and Max Verstappen. And undoubtedly, Max Verstappen will be top of that list. Now, if you want to believe the story, whether it's true, Planet F1 says Toto Wolff has revealed that he's the number one without any really real source, unless the interview was directly from them. I'm not too sure. But my goodness, what a bold move that would be. I mean, that would cause fire in the Formula One garage. In the Formula One world, it will cause absolute fire if we were to see Max Verstappen go to Mercedes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think Max Verstappen would dare leave Red Bull and join Mercedes? Do you think so? If you like Formula One content like this, make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you ask a comment. You know, ask a comment. Make sure you put a comment in the comment section, okay? Ask a question if you wish, but also answer the question I'm presenting to you, right? Do you think Max Verstappen would actually join Mercedes in 2025? Do you believe that Max Verstappen is Toto Wolff's number one target? And who do you think will join Mercedes in 2025? The seat is open. It's there. It's right there. It's the guaranteed seat that is open right now. All the other stuff, all the bits around it is all speculation. What's going on with the Red Bull seats? What's going on with the Aston Martin seat? What's going on with, you know, those are all speculations. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section regarding the Mercedes seat itself. Because, boy, they're going to need some sort of help. They're going to need something. And, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely do not know what is going to take place. But I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see it. And, yeah, let's see who takes that Mercedes seat. Until next time, lights out.